Picture this. You met her, you pursued her, and you finally won her. You thought the battle was over. You settled into the quiet comfort of consistency. You answer her calls immediately. You anticipate her needs. You sacrifice your free time, your focus, your own mission, because you were told that this is how you show up. This is how you build trust. But what actually happened? The laughter died first, then the respect. The spark that ignited your connection, that electric, undeniable pull. It vanished, replaced by a dull, friendly apathy. You became the safe anchor, the predictable outcome. And she began to look past you, not at you. You became her emotional safety blanket, and a woman does not chase a safety blanket. Here is the truth you were never meant to discover. The relentless pursuit of emotional availability is a man's silent betrayal of his own power. You handed her the keys to your internal world, and in doing so, you forfeited your right to lead it. This isn't about being cruel, it's about acknowledging a biological imperative. For millions of years, the female hardwiring, the engine of her subconscious, has been a meticulous sentry, assessing the resourcefulness of her potential mate. And what does relentless, unchecked emotional neediness signal? It signals scarcity. It signals a man who cannot regulate his own internal state, who requires external validation to function. It suggests a man whose focus is diverted from the external world, his mission, his tribe, the hunt, and on to her. This is perceived, at a deep reptilian level, as a fundamental lack of competence. We must understand the difference, my friend, between need and desire. Desire is the pull toward competence. Need is the scent of the dependent. She is not attracted to the man who is frantic to please her. She is attracted to the man whose life is so fundamentally complete that her presence is a bonus, not a necessity. This is why comfort is the kill switch for sexual tension. The moment she knows she has full 24/7 access to your emotional supply, your value in the evolutionary marketplace drops to zero. Now we get to the tool itself, weaponized indifference. This is not apathy. Apathy is caring about nothing. Indifference is caring about your mission more than her momentary emotional state. It is the calculated application of detached curiosity. When she is volatile, testing your frame, presenting drama, your natural impulse, the one conditioned by years of media and misplaced chivalry, is to validate, soothe, and fix. But here is the mechanism. When you validate a storm, you prove that the storm has the power to shift your reality. You give her the lever. The alpha male's response is different. He offers strategic detachment. He views the chaos with a calm, almost clinical eye. Interesting, you seem upset. I'm going to focus on this deadline now. This denial of the emotional lever forces her subconscious mind to reevaluate. It triggers the fear of loss mechanism. If her drama doesn't work, if her sadness doesn't move your mountain, then she must confront a terrifying truth. She doesn't have control over you. And lack of control, brother, is the psychological precursor to respect and renewed desire. Let's look at the battlefield. You are bleeding power in these small, relentless skirmishes every single day. First, the text trap. She sends a difficult, cryptic, or high-emotion text. You instantly drop what you're doing, your work, your workout, to craft the perfect conciliatory reply. You've just told her, via the rapid delivery of dopamine, that she is your primary focus. Second, the conflict compromise. She pushes a boundary, perhaps disrespecting your time or your space. Instead of enforcing the consequence, you immediately soften, apologize, or rationalize her behavior. You've taught her that your boundaries are rubber, not iron. Third, the emotional sponge. You allow her bad mood to instantly hijack and dictate your own internal weather. If she is anxious, you become anxious. If she is quiet, you pursue her silence. You have become an empathic mirror, and she is looking for a mountain, not a reflection. Stop being the sponge. Install the shield of the alpha's indifference by delaying your emotional reaction, anchoring to logic, and reinvesting that emotional energy into your own work. This isn't just bad luck, it is systemic. Modern culture has mandated the sensitive, responsive male, and it is a toxic lie. The entire romantic media complex, the movies, the songs, the social justice narratives, pushes the idea that the greatest act of love is the self-immolation of the male ego for the sake of emotional harmony. They promise you happiness through compliance. They promise you love through surrender. They convince you that your natural masculine stability is actually toxic. This is the Blue Pill Mandate, a cultural conspiracy designed to strip men of their natural, volatile edge and turn them into predictable, safe, and easily manageable consumer units. They want you focused on validation, not victory. We are here to tell you to reject this narrative. The man who leads his own life is not selfish. He is resourceful. The man who is emotionally self-contained is not cold. He is stable. And stability is the true masculine gift. But it must be given from a position of power, not demanded through submission. If you fail to implement this indifference, the collapse is guaranteed. It won't be a dramatic explosion. It will be the silent divorce that happens years before the paperwork is signed. She will stop fighting you, not because she respects you, but because she no longer cares enough to test you. You will become her dearest friend, her roommate, her reliable provider. But the passion, the tension, the sheer aliveness of the dynamic, it dies. The cost is immense. You lose your relationship, but more importantly, you lose your own self. You become a shadow, a man defined by his response to another person's emotions, rather than by his own purpose. You sacrificed your internal sovereignty on the altar of temporary comfort. Here is the bitter truth of this weapon. Weaponized indifference only works if you are genuinely prepared to use the nuclear option. If your detachment is merely an act, a flimsy manipulation, she will smell the fear of abandonment beneath it, and she will double down. You must cultivate a reality where your life, your mission, and your internal peace are so complete that the loss of any relationship, no matter how cherished, is an acceptable, if painful, cost. This is the ultimate act of self-sufficiency. When you operate from that place of fundamental completeness, your indifference becomes authentic power. It forces her to reckon with the reality that you are a sovereign entity, not her possession. You become the prize she must re-earn, not the fixture she can ignore. We conclude with the path forward, the Stoic resolution. You must install the anchor principle. Tie your internal worth, your sense of purpose, to your mission, your work, your fitness, your pursuit of mastery, not to your relationship outcome. The final command is simple. Be the man who is wanted, but fundamentally needs nothing. Cultivate the stillness. Master the pause. Recognize that the most powerful thing you can do when faced with emotional turbulence is to remain unmoved. Be the monolith in the storm. This is the secret tool of the Alpha. This is the path back to yourself.